We have a lot of people on the call. It's so exciting. Thank you all for being here with us. I'm Cyan Dandridge. I am the Executive Director of SEI, which is a local nonprofit that supports the School of Environmental Leadership, which I am also the director of. And today we have such an exciting event. I'm so excited to see all of our students in action and be able to share the really fun business projects with you, and also just hear from a fantastic keynote speaker, and then we have student speeches, and it's going to be a great evening. So before I get started, I first want to really just send out a big shout out thank you to all of our sponsors: San Rafael Airport, Golden State Lumber, Clough Construction.
Our video.
I'm sorry? Whoops. Clough Construction, Marin Clean Energy, Rotary Club of Terra Linda, 3 Degrees, Lotus Cuisine of India, and the San Rafael Chamber of Commerce. So thank you so much for all of your support for us. Also our amazing keynote speaker from EO, Susan Griffin-Black. We'll hear from her later on. We had an amazing parent planning committee: Allison Kurth, Michelle Smith-Laurie, Nancy Kirshner-Rodriguez, Rachel Stengel, Rachel Kamen, and Sam Rodriguez. So thank you all. We cannot do this program, or especially this event, without all the parent support that we have. Also want to thank my team: Katy Rogers, Naomi Asimov, Tris Williams, Bernard, and Lisa Ristucci. All of you are just so amazing and incredible for this program. And then especially Mike Cairns, who is our College of Marin professor, who led the students through this incredible process in our business class. So before we get started, I just wanted to give a little bit of background about the School of Environmental Leadership. So as most of you know, it's a school within our local public high school, Terra Linda High School, where we've really looked at integrating leadership into each and every class. And so every year we have a different kind of focus and some exciting things that happen. So as freshmen, SEL students are working to understand the world around them through projects designed to bring effective research, public speaking, and communication skills to how they do their work. So we had some really great lead projects this fall, and in particular, you know, we're in this really interesting time right now. The COVID-19 has thrown schools for a loop all over the world. At Marin Cell, we have been responding by investing a lot more time and effort into the SEI team, the SEL team, working directly with the teachers to help them to create new and innovative ways to bring education to the school. And so one of the projects that we're working on right now with the freshmen is a food project where every year the students compete to make a meal together in a team. And this year, rather than just making a meal in a team in a kitchen, they're actually going to be making an individual meal. And we've been able to get Robert's Pizza, which is a really high-end pizza restaurant in Chicago, is going to lead them into a cooking class. And we're going to share in the chat a spot that he's had so you can see the kind of food that he produces. But we're going to have a live event with him teaching the students how to cook pizza, and then they're going to create their own meal, present it to their family. They'll compete around lowest carbon footprint and best presentation and all the same things that we've done in other years, but this time we've been able to do a more of a cooking show kind of venue. For sophomores, we had some amazing policy projects this year. Our extreme heat group analyzed how heat should be integrated into the safety element of the San Rafael's general plan, and work together with our most vulnerable communities, especially in the canal, to be able to integrate extreme heat elements into their general planning process. And now they're working to redesign the Walker Creek experience, which most of our students have had, to be able to have a week-long engagement with elementary schools virtually and have interactive sustainability lessons with them. And our juniors, which you'll hear a lot more from later on, one of the things that we have is this great engineering class where they build chicken coops. They are not building chicken coops, obviously, now. So our engineering teacher had them design a zero carbon Earth ship and they have to use materials that they find in their home to build their models as a team. So it's kind of fun just to see how we've been able to pivot in this time of COVID-19. And each student are going to present, you're going to see their business plans. They all produced the business plan this fall, and now we selected, I think there's 9 of them that are implementing this spring, and you'll see each of their pitches, and they've pivoted a lot. There's one example that I was impressed with, especially Earth Toys was, they were using the shop to produce their toys, and obviously they couldn't do that now. So they've started a Marin labor lending business, which is an online marketing support business. You'll hear more about that later. So I thought that was interesting how our students really are entrepreneurs in this time and are able to pivot even in the time that all other businesses are facing the same kinds of issues. And our seniors they have huge projects, and we're going to be doing those 2 big culminating events virtually as well. There's going to be a poster symposium of all of their internships that they were in, and also we're going to be showcasing their capstones that they're going to be doing virtually as well, and it's going to be open to the public, so you'll be able to join that. For our seniors, this is such a hard time, especially for our seniors, just seeing how they transition from being together and having all of these events that they would have been attending and now can't. But they've been accepted into some really amazing colleges, a lot of UCs, USC, Wesleyan, Pittsburgh, Barnard. There's a lot of amazing schools that they've all been accepted to. So proud of our seniors. My son is one of them, and I can't even tell you how proud I am of all of them. So without further ado, I don't know, I'm going to introduce Katy Dunlap next. Katy, are you on?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Cyan.
Awesome. So one of the things that is so important to Marin Cell is how we're able to do this as a school within a school. And Katy, from day one, has been just the most amazing, supportive person. And through all of this that's happening, even with everything that she's having to deal with, just trying to get the school to respond overall to COVID, Katy has been just absolutely amazing in her support of Marin Cell. So Katy, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
Thank you, Cyan. Good evening. I'm so grateful to join you all tonight. This is one of my favorite evenings every year, and I get really excited to see the businesses all of you have created. I have several products in my house from every single year, so I'm ready to get shopping tonight. And I'm still excited, even though it's virtual, it's still going to be a wonderful event. In our present situation, there's been an added challenge for our teachers in Marin Cell in adapting curriculum to be done remotely. And our Marin Cell teachers are exemplary in what they're accomplishing during our shelter in place. At every grade level, students are continuing to work on projects. I'm checking in with students daily. I may have spoken to some of you today, and I'm hearing about how our teachers in Marin Cell are rapidly adapting our coursework and content. We're going to hear a lot of those examples and efforts tonight, so I'm looking forward to having all of our parents get to witness the tremendous work our students and teachers are doing. This evening, I would also like to recognize our partnership with College of Marin. Through our dual enrollment at COM, our students earn college credits for this class. This is a tremendous benefit to our students, and I think is part of the reason why our students are so successful with their college applications and acceptances. We're so grateful to have Mike Cairns in COM to teach our Sustainable Enterprise class. Mike goes above and beyond to make this class the success that it is. Thank you, Cyan, for everything you do to keep the Marin Cell program thriving. Your leadership is really the core of what makes this program unique and sustainable in Marin County. This junior year business class is a true highlight of the Marin Cell curriculum, which builds leadership skills that our students will use in college and beyond. While I wish we could all be together in person this evening, I'm so glad that our students can share their hard work with you tonight. Thank you again so much for your support during this time, and please enjoy tonight.
Thank you, Katy. That's awesome. Yeah, we so appreciate our partnership with College of Marin as well. And next up, I want to introduce Mike Cairns, who is the College of Marin teacher that is also teaching this amazing Terlinda class. So Mike, you are so well loved by students, and you have just provided such an amazing experience for them. Thank you for all that you do, and you can take it away.
Thank you, Cyan. I'd be blushing, I think. Well, thank you. Good evening, everybody. So I'm Mike Cairns, and I must say that I'm very excited to be working with this group of students. I mean, they're just so motivated, such strong students that it's really a pleasure to work with them. And as Katy mentioned, they also get college credit. So we've got some interesting businesses and some college credit along the way. So I thought I'd give you a very quick background kind of in terms of what we've been through over the past 2 semesters. So in the fall, we start basically with a blank slate, although some students do have ideas, most don't, and we kind of start thinking about what motivates them, what are their passions, kind of building in, you know, a focus on the environment, equity, and the economy. And that gets them to kind of a preliminary idea of what they think might work. And then we go through a feasibility study looking at, will people pay for this? Is it something that people will actually want to buy? And is anybody else doing it? Who's the competition? So we go through kind of, it's in much more detail than I'm talking about now, but it's to see if the business actually has legs. And then to kind of validate it, they develop an initial elevator pitch, kind of bounce it off people. And we begin working on the business plan. And all along the way, it's very iterative, because as the students go through it, some decide, well, you know, it seemed like a good idea, but it really isn't. You know, as they go through the market research or initial design development and that type of thing. And we go through, by the end of the semester, we've got 30 sustainable business plans and 30 investor pitches. And so that's the outcome. I mean, it's much more detailed, but we build it up step by step. Then at the start of the second semester, each of the students does a 10-minute, this year anyway, it was a 10-minute pitch to what we call kind of a Shark Tank, people from the community, entrepreneurs, people from the supervisors, county supervisors. Then there's 5 minutes for questions, and after that process, we selected 8 businesses to develop and take to market. Then probably the hardest part of the process was when each CEO had to hire their own team. And it's kind of, you know, no one ends up being totally happy, but we hope no one ends up being totally unhappy either, because you don't get the strongest necessary people that you really want to work with. But it was all good and all worked out well. So by the beginning of February, they were well on their way to coming up with a sustainable business, successful business. And many of them made a fair amount of money in February, but then COVID-19 hit and things started to slow down. And pretty much by the middle of March, students and most businesses couldn't do business. So what our students have been working on is pivoting, as Cyan said, and now most of them are in a position to be selling, or all of them are in a position to be selling their services or products online. So I think that this COVID-19 thing, although it's, you know, it's a dire situation, it's really been a wonderful learning experience for someone who's an entrepreneur, young or old. It's just how you deal with a situation like this, and if you can adapt to it, will hold you in good stead going forward. So I think, you know, there's a bright side in the way. Anyway, thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey for sure. So next up, I have the incredible pleasure of introducing Susan Griffin-Black. So she is the co-founder and co-CEO of EO Products, that wonderful smelling blue bottle that we all know and love. It's the California-based parent company of 2 leading personal care brands, EO and Everyone for Everybody. Since her personal discovery of essential oils on a trip to London in the 90s, Susan has become a champion for integrated wellness style and a pioneer of the natural personal care industry. She's an expert on safe, healthy products and aromatherapy. Susan has been a Zen Buddhist student for more than 30 years and believes in the power of relationship and conscious leadership. She serves as a mentor and advocate for many nonprofits and small businesses. Susan is especially passionate about supporting female entrepreneurs. She provided an amazing internship opportunity to one of our Marin Cell seniors, Molly. If you have questions for Susan, please type them into the Q&A box and we will select questions to be answered. Take it away, Susan. Susan, I don't know if you're muted or if you're talking.
Is that better?
That's good. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Anyway, thank you so much. That was a lovely introduction, and I'm really honored to be spending a bit of time with all of you tonight. I am so impressed with this program and being able to come together in this way, and just all of you forward-thinking leaders who are looking at these sort of things far before I certainly did. And we need you, and we need your passion and your ideas and your goodness now more than ever. So, and additional thanks to Molly Madden for interning with us and sharing her poise and her passion and her work ethic. She did an amazing presentation for all of us last week, and we're just so thankful and impressed. So I just wanted to shout out to Molly. So when I was asked to spend a few minutes with you, I thought of what I could share briefly as a gift for you to take on your journey, and how can I crystallize some things that I've learned that may be useful. And so, you know, when we founded EO in 1995, I had a 10-year-old son who actually is a musician you may know, and his name is Marky Basie, just saying. And I was soon to be pregnant with my daughter, Lucy, who's finishing up art school right now. And we co-founded EO to make natural and organic bath and body care products, and then launched everyone subsequently in 2012. And I could say that our idea was to make beautiful, plant-based, healthy, safe products for ourselves and our families and our community, and that's true. But deeper than that, which I'm sure you can all relate to, was our inner desire and drive to contribute to the world in a way that has purpose and heart and meaning. And when we looked around at places that we had worked and other businesses, they were not doing a great job across. You know, they'd have a great brand or an image, but they weren't really concerned about the environment, or they were making a ton of money, but they didn't treat their people well. So bringing all of these things together was a critical interest, and also manufacturing close to where we lived and manufacturing in the right way so that we understood all of the materials and the processes that have to come together to manufacture was deeply important, because we'd like to pay attention to every little detail that actually makes a product. And we wanted to live close to home, to be available, to be parents, to never miss a basketball game or a parent-teacher conference, or, pick up my kids if they were sick. So this idea of really paying attention to what draws you in, what is important to you, and knowing yourself contributed and has contributed for the past 25 years to the way our business is run and how decisions are made on a daily basis. So what I would say is to really slow down enough to pay attention to what are you attracted to? What are you curious about? What do you want to know more about? What do you want to learn? And who are you attracted to? And whose energy and purpose and being draws you in? Because that isn't really what we're taught. We're taught many other things that actually draw us away from that very essence. So self-knowledge and knowing what to pay attention to, I think, is a very important and underrated characteristic. And I think for me, I was a very successful clothing designer. I had a great career, great run in New York. And when my son was 4, I was traveling in London, and I was working for the late Doug Tompkins, who was an environmentalist. And my job was created to figure out how to understand how we make things at a spree and what is a more sustainable possibility in terms of making things. And for me, that was a portal to organic agriculture, organic cotton, because growing cotton and processing cotton is a very toxic process, which I didn't know. But that portal opened up a whole new world and a whole new perspective and way of looking at things. And then I sort of got really drawn to, well, how are things grown? What does it take? How are things made? And how are the people who are making them treated? And where are they made? And what is the energy of, changing fashion, and how much you have to put in and discard and the waste from every season. And as I got drawn into that, I met just amazing people who were doing amazing things. And, David Brower, the very well-known environmentalist, and Paul Hawken, and Anita Roddick, who founded The Body Shop. And all of these people were so generous by really spending time with us and talking to us about possibilities and about being a force for good, and the possibility that business could be a force for good. So this was 1990, years before you all were born. So it's been a long journey, and I can see that the 50 years even prior to that, when Rachel Carson wrote Silent Spring, and people were planting their own garden and had sustainable lifestyles so that they could live off the grid, which is sort of coming back into the fore, were the predecessor and thinking for what it is that we do now. But anyway, I was on a business trip, and I was sort of running through London looking at trends and looking at clothing and people on the street, and just sort of getting a feel for things. And I made like a wrong turn and ran into this beautiful little courtyard called Neal's Yard. And there was a little apothecary, and I walked in, and it was about as big as, I'm standing in our retail store in Mill Valley because my house is noisy. I have 2 dogs at home and very noisy neighbors at this time of day. So I walked around the corner and ended up here. And as I'm looking around, I'm thinking, this is very much like the store I wandered into in 1991 in London. And they had bath and body care products, herbs, homeopathic remedies, tinctures, and a full range of essential oils. And I picked up this bottle of lavender essential oil. It was lavender angustifolia from France. And I inhaled, and my life changed in that minute. I didn't really know that my life changed, but I looked around and I thought, this is absolutely what I want to do next. This is so interesting how they managed to put all of these alternative healing modalities under one roof. And what are these little bottles of concentrated plant essences? So I started down the path of getting to know the owner of that business and studying with them, and I imported that product and took a crash course in cosmetic chemistry. But what I'm illustrating here is I really followed my own curiosity, my interest, and what I was passionate about, pretty without any sort of plan, against all odds. You know, there was, I had to make a living. I already had a 10-year-old son. I had to figure out how to transition from what I was doing into the next thing. But I really believe that when you find what it is that you are attracted to and that you want to do and that you're meant to do, if you stick with it long enough, you just find the way. And one of the things we've always said is that we've been really good at not going out of business. And I still think that that's true after 25 years, because essentially we want it to be a force for good. And businesses, you can say it's possible for a business to be a force for good. And businesses are made up of people. And so each person has to be their own force for good in order to collectively move things along in that direction. We became a benefit corporation, a B Corp, many years ago. I say we were a B Corp before B Corps. And what that means is we're audited by a third party that actually measures our impact, the way we treat our employees. And it's people first and relationships first, planet, purpose, and then profit on the bottom where it belongs. And that's not to say that it's possible, even though tech companies, and I think even Amazon is not profitable, right? Can survive without being profitable. It just means that it really is on the bottom where it belongs. It's got to happen. You have to be very mindful of cash flow and profitability, and it just can't come first. It has to be a very integrated part of the process that's always considered, that you're always looking at, and it actually, in some ways, excuse me, it shows how you're doing overall. So we've been a B Corp now for, I guess, about 10 years, and we're constantly looking at ways to improve our score and to do things better in all of these areas. So you already are a force for good because you're in this program, and just please continue on that path, because we need you, and we need you to continue on that path. The fourth thing is to ask for help and to be adaptable. And I think I had something else to say, but I think this is really the perfect moment for this point. I was on my way to our trade show for the 26th year in Southern California that they didn't cancel as of Sunday. And I was driving down with a car full of t-shirts and last minute props and flowers and all sorts of things. And I was stopping to see some friends and continuing down, and they canceled the trade show on Monday. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just stay in Southern California for a few days. And so I made my way there and visited with some friends. And I was talking on the phone to work and conferencing in, and realized that the hand sanitizer business was up like 1,300%, that the amount of orders that we were getting and for hand soap and hand sanitizer were just really unheard of. So I turned around, went home, got home on a Friday. On Saturday, I walked around the corner to our little store, and there was a line around the block for hand sanitizers. And I was like, oh my gosh. So we immediately decided that we can, if we devote all of our production to making hand sanitizers, how much will that contribute to the greater good, and how fast can we do it? So it's sort of a perfect storm scenario in terms of pivoting. First of all, about half of our staff was working from home. Production, because we were considered an essential business, had to be re-engineered so that we could maintain proper distance, keep people well, healthy, and continue on to make products every day in an environment that was really almost like a first responder environment because of the issues that arose. So, we had check-ins with people every day, wellness check-ins, twice a day actually, increased our capacity to clean and disinfect all equipment and all surfaces. And then of course, we did have plenty of hand sanitizer. So we ramped all of our production, and we increased our production of hand sanitizer by about 500%, which met about half of the demand. And, in business, as you can imagine, and as you are starting to see and know, it's a question of when you have the opportunity, or when are you going to get that opportunity again, but kind of timing is everything. So we could rise to the occasion in a way, but I was also seeing, and we were also experiencing this feeling of challenge and defeat because we couldn't do what we've always done fast enough for as many people and to help quickly enough. So we invested with a co-manufacturer and partner, and they are starting to help us ramp in their facility in Southern California. And so we'll be able to better meet capacity. But one of the tricks is to not get greedy, to put people first. And so we also had to make sure that our businesses, we make products, generally put them on pallets, they go on trucks to warehouses, elsewhere, and then get routed back with many other products back into stores. So for example, I live in Mill Valley Market, Good Earth, Safeway, Walgreens, and Whole Foods had no hand sanitizer. And so I could watch the product go from the floor to the pallet, to the truck, to the warehouse. But meanwhile, what about grocery store people? What about first responders? What about, so we started donating and delivering to emergency rooms, police stations, firemen. We work very closely with a lot of people in transitional housing, so Glide, Homeward Bound, to make sure that we could cover and allot product to as many people as possible. We also partnered with Lyft to keep their drivers safe and to keep their passengers safe for the first 4 weeks before that sort of fell off. So it's been quite a challenge, but I've learned so much about really being disciplined and focused. And we have been working as a team to be flexible and figure out what is the next right thing. And by treating first responders first, we take care of ourselves. We take care of ourselves so we can better take care of each other. And then it ripples out into the community and into the world. And so the essence of sustainability and environmentalism is really love and care and kindness and respect. And it's about relationship. And I know that all of you are learning this deeply at an early age, and we need you to be a force for good and to be able to ask for help and to be flexible and to put your best selves forward for yourselves, for each other, and to make the world a better place. So I thank you, and I encourage you, and I say all the time, if I can do it, you can do it. You just have to keep going. And if you ever need help, if you want to email me, if you want me to look at anything, it's susan@eoproducts.com. And I'm happy to continue this conversation with any of you anytime. So thank you very, very much for talking with me tonight, and look forward to answering any questions and seeing what you all are up to.
Thank you so much, Susan. You're one of my personal heroes with all of the great work you do. And I've always loved your company. So thank you so much for being our keynote. And we have a question, and I'm only going to limit it. I'm sorry for the participants, but I'm going to just limit it to one, just because of our timing. I want to make sure we stay on time. But the question is, in addition to your personal intuition and interest, at what point did you realize you were truly onto something with EO? How did you test your early ideas for validation?
Mm-hmm. Well, we always considered ourselves to be our customers, So it really started just whipping things up and then saying, I like this. If I like this, I wonder if my sister will like it. And if she liked it, I wonder if her friend will like it. And I wonder if my neighbor will like it. And it was really pretty much that sort of grassroots thing. I can remember making blends of essential oils on my desk with a dropper and a beaker. And my daughter would be in her bouncy chair, right next to me. And there were 6 people in the office, and we'd be passing it around and saying, do you like this? Do you think it needs a little more lemon? And then, fast forward 25 years later, and I still, we do a tremendous amount of consumer insight work now. And we do it more for verification than certainly for innovation, right? So it's really to test our instincts, to confirm or not what it is that we already know sometimes, or it enlightens us in other ways in terms of words or designs or, how we're explaining things and communicating. So I would say that it still can be a very human thing where, depending on where you're starting from and the premise that you're testing, and if it is a product, you want to make sure that you love it, that it works, that it connects with people, that other people like it, and really, really listen to their feedback. I did sales for our company for the first several years because I always wanted to know what people had to say. So listening, asking and listening.
That's great. Thank you so much. It's awesome. And you're getting a lot in the chat. I don't know if you want to look at it at some point, a lot of thanks and how inspiring you are. And there's a few other questions. I'm sorry, we're going to have to transition to our next speaker. But again, thank you so much for being with us today, and also just for everything that you do. I love your product, and your transition to support our pandemic has been just incredible. So thank you for that.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much, and all best. Everybody stay safe and well.
Yes, thank you. So next up, I have the incredible pleasure of introducing our Vision into Action awardee. So our Vision into Action award is always voted on by the students. And this year, our VIA awardee is Sahar Gulshani. She's the Environmental Services Director at Las Colinas Valley Sanitary District. And as a laboratory director, she ensures the district's compliance with federal, state, and local regulations and ensures any non-compliance is reported. Her goal is to create an informed public that will make better decisions for their families and their community, resulting in a cleaner, healthier bay and environment. And for the past 7 semesters, amazing, Sahar has spearheaded a lead project for our 9th and 10th grade students that have empowered students to become active in their communities. During the fall of 2016, Sahar's lead group proposed mosquito mitigation plans to the Las Colinas Valley Sanitary District Board. I think that some of our juniors were on that group, were in that group. Sahar also led student projects focused on microbeads, and in the fall of 2019, her lead project group educated all 7th and 8th graders at Miller Creek Middle School on the detrimental effects of microbeads and toxins in personal care products and what they have on our environment. Through these projects, students were able to raise awareness on the toxins.
Whether the speaker died.
And I'm getting feedback. Somebody's talking.
I let her speak, she said.
Somebody's talking. Can you mute yourself? So Sahar, through these projects, students were able to raise awareness on the toxins in the products they use daily and are now decision makers in their community. Sahar's dedication to our students and progressing their environmental education has resulted in these groups' numerous successes in students' personal and professional development and in environmental protection. So Sahar, thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind just saying a few words, that would be just wonderful.
Thank you, Cyan, for the wonderful introduction, and I'm honored to spend, as you said, 7th semester with the wonderful, intelligent students working on different projects. Most of our focus in last few semester was the microbeads and how the personal care product contain microbeads can affect our environment, and through the sewage treatment, and there is a limited treatment we can do for the wastewater, and the microbeads, one of the basically difficult compound we cannot remove from wastewater, from sewage. And by educating public and how it can damage the environment, microbeads can damage the environment, basically we were very successful of transferring this message to the public by students from Terra Linda High School. I always learn from this project. It's not I'm helping the students, but it's always something I learn from them as well. So I always enjoy spending time and working through this project. They are all, they have wonderful ideas, and we were able to transfer this message strongly to the public. And in Marin County, we have 6 wastewater treatment plan, and one of our basically permits requires to educate public to keep the environment safe. And this we have a public education committee that when I introduced this project to them, they were very excited. They were willing to support the student every semester, and we were able to one of the semester, our board of directory at Las Colinas Valley Sanitary District listen to the presentation, final presentation from the group, and they very enjoyed, and they're very impressed with what they did, and they basically granted them and support them financially for any of the needs they need to expand this project and research. And also public education committee as well. They are every year they grant financially, and award them financially and support them to make sure they are supported and they can do more other things to be able to transfer this message to the public. I want to thank you all for this wonderful time, and I really appreciate this great experience. Thank you, Cyan.
Thank you, Sahar. It's great. Marin is so dependent on our community partners, and you have just been such an amazing partner and so deserving of this award. It was really highly supported by the students to have you be our awardee this year. So thank you for all that you do. Really appreciate it. And thank you to the Las Colinas Valley Sanitary District for your financial support too. That's always, always appreciated. So next up, one of the things that we've all been waiting for is to hear the student business pitches. So obviously in this time of COVID, it's a little bit more difficult for our students to sell their products. And so we're very excited to be able to hold this event, and they all have links to their pages where you can buy their products virtually, and then they'll mail them to you. So we will put that in the chat. Mike Cairns will be introducing each of the pitches to us, and I will hand the mic over to Mike.
I will unmute myself. So thanks, Cyan. So now we get to see the 8 pitches, the business pitches from, now we get to see the 8 business pitches. Each one will be followed by a short question and answer period or time where you can ask questions of a student representative from that, or a student representative from that business will answer. And after the event, we'll be making the videos available online. So up first is Buddha Bomb.
Do you get sore muscles? Hi.
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 I'm Finley.
I'm Katrina.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Angela.
And we are the founders of Buddha Balm, a local student-run business.
We sell an all-natural muscle rub to people who work hard and get sore, including athletes, students,
and anyone else who needs a little extra muscle love. Buddha Balm is made of real ingredients, including coconut oil, shea butter, and essential oils.
We aim to help the environment at every turn. And so, we incentivize our customers to bring back their tin cans, which we will refill at a discounted price.
Finally, Buddha Balm is donating 25% of our earnings to the healthcare workers of Marin, allowing our customers' minds and bodies to be left at ease.
Thank you. So we have one question. So this will be directed to Angela. How many muscle rubs can one container provide?
Yeah, so basically a muscle rub isn't like a one-time use. It's kind of like a lotion. It's a 1 fluid ounce bottle for $7, and in it you can use it like every day for about like 2 months. It's not like you purchase it and you only use it once.
So 2 months worth of rubs.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, thank you. Okay, well, next up is perfectly imperfect fruit rolls.
Hi, my name's Catherine, and when I buy produce, I sort through the fruit to find the perfect ones with no bruising and just the right shape. Doesn't everyone? The question is, what happens to the imperfect fruit that no one wants?
Hey Catherine, Ashlyn here. Did you know that around half of all U.S. food is thrown away? The fruit that's thrown away is also still good. The bruises are just a result of oxidation, and while they might look unappealing, are totally okay to eat.
That's right, Ashlyn. Hi, my name is Lucas, and I work for Perfectly Imperfect Fruit Rolls. Our company turns over ripened fruit into delicious fruit rolls that come in all sorts of flavors. You can learn more on our Instagram page and order there too. Just visit at perfectly.imperfect.fruitrolls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. One question I have. How many fruit rolls are in a packet, and do you offer different sized packets?
There are 5 fruit rolls in each package, and we don't offer different sizes, but you can buy 4 for $10 or 1 for $3, so you get a discounted price when you buy more.
Okay, thank you.
And Mike, we have another question here. Are they gluten-free?
Yes, they're gluten-free and they don't have any additives like sugar or anything like that.
And then one other question that I had was, how have you pivoted in this time of the coronavirus?
So currently we're not selling right now, but you can order and we'll ship it to you when we start selling as soon as Gavin Newsom releases the non-essential business ban. Yeah.
All right, thank you. And if there is time at the end, we'll have some more Q&A. B-Raps is up next.
Many households opt for a more convenient yet wasteful approach to storing food with plastic. B-Wraps are different. B-Wraps are reusable, washable, and biodegradable food wraps that you can wrap around any food or container to keep fresh.
We use exclusively locally sourced and environmentally friendly materials. Our fabric is repurposed from old cotton shirts, and the beeswax we use is bought from local farmers. For every 15 wraps sold, we donate $10 to the Planet Bee Foundation, which funds a student STEM lesson about bees.
Thousands of plastic bags end up in our oceans and landfills every day. In addition to the plastic industry, the textile industry also produces some of the most waste. The reuse of fabric and the longevity of the wrap mitigates fabric and plastic waste.
At B-Wraps, we understand that the COVID-19 pandemic has caused uncertain times. We are going to keep working on online orders so customers may keep food fresh while staying at home.
Okay, let's see. Question. So you said you can wash them. How often can you wash them?
So it depends on the residue that ends up on the wrap. So let's say you wrap something that leaves more residue, you can wash it. It's not recommended that you wash it a lot because then it doesn't last as long, but you can still wash it whenever.
Okay. So do you know about how many washes it can handle before it's no good?
The wrap lasts anywhere between 6 to 12 months. So in that time period, depending on how much you use it and wash it, it can vary.
Great, thank you. So now we have what was Earth Toys and is now pivoted to be the Marin Labor Lending Company. Oops.
Having trouble optimizing your marketing and outreach opportunities on social media? Well, Marin Labor Lending is here to help.
Here is our Instagram profile back from when we were Earth Toys, before the global pandemic. Want some cool graphics like these? Let us design you some.
Hire us to make your Instagram, your Facebook, and other platforms more accessible and attractive. We design graphics, get Instagram followers, and offer personal shoutouts on our professional, popular Instagram page.
Coronavirus has made an online business presence a necessity. As high school teenagers, the generation that relies on social media for communication and technological expertise, we know what makes an effective online presence and experience.
Contact Isaac at earthtoys.store for any business inquiries or additional questions.
Okay, great. So, do you charge for your services? Do you charge by the hour or by the project?
We charge by the project. So if you contact us and say you need a graphic designed, we'll give you a quote on that graphic.
So, okay, great. Any others? No. So next up we have Looply.
Across the country, thousands of people receive single-use products like lanyards every day. Though it seems like nothing, these products end up polluting our world's waters, lands, and communities. Realizing this, we chose to work towards a greater solution for this overlooked issue.
We strive for a world where waste is no longer an issue, where products are created with a purpose, and we all live intentionally. And we're making that happen one lanyard at a time.
We took a simple feeling product and recognized the convenience and benefits of it, and worked to make it as sustainable and accessible as possible, while still focusing on the impact we had on our company.
At Looply, we are tackling the issue of single-use, low-quality products through our business of handmade lanyards and wristlets, popular among everyone from students to busy parents. Our mission is to create beautiful lanyards and wristlets out of recycled materials, to provide organization in a unique yet practical way, all while working to expand our creativity and truly embody the well-known phrase, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah. So for the lanyards, how many keys can it hold?
So for the lanyards, if you just want to see a sample of it, I have one right here. And they can hold, I haven't tested it for like maximum, but this ring is pretty strong and it's all sturdy stitching. On my personal Looply lanyard, I think I have around like 10 keys on there. And I have like 2 different car keys and then a few house keys. And I have no problem with it.
So it's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's see.
Sorry, I also have one additional thing. It wasn't in our elevator pitch video, but we are now producing face masks. They do retail for $12, and there is information on that through our Instagram page and through the link that was put in the chat as well.
Yes, that's pivoting very well. Okay, great. So next would be Suds of the Sea.
Hi, I'm Nick Testa, founder and CEO of Suds of the Sea, and I love the feeling of being fresh and clean, but what I don't love are all the synthetic ingredients and chemicals in what seems like every big soap brand out there. These toxic ingredients are not only bad for us humans, but they accumulate in the oceans and destroy marine ecosystems.
Hello, I'm Joe Escardino, Marketing Manager of Suds of the Sea. We at Suds of the Sea make sustainable, organic, cultured soap bars in order to create an even better alternative to synthetic and chemical soaps.
Hi, I'm Jasper Bankhead, Outreach Manager for Suds of the Sea. We use a live culturing method in our soap production to provide the exfoliating and moisturizing elements of soap that are normally provided by chemical and synthetic ingredients. This way, we have a competitive product that not only feels and cleans better, but is not harmful to our planet.
Hi, I'm Tucker Voorhees, Financial Manager of Suds of the Sea. Not only is our product itself completely sustainable, but our packaging is made from 100% post-consumer recycled paper. To find out more or to place an order, please email us at info.sudsofthesea@gmail.com. Thanks for your support.
Great. So, question here: is there any scent on this within the soap?
Yeah, right now we have 2 scents available, and those are lavender rose and vanilla cinnamon. And yeah, so that's the 2 we have right now.
Okay, great. And then the second question: compared to the soap that you would buy at the store, like normal, like the retail, the manufactured soap, how does this compare in terms of how long it lasts?
Well, in my personal use of it, it has actually ended up lasting longer than the other soaps that I have. So I think I've been using one bar for about a month and a half, and it's maybe halfway worn down. So yeah.
Yeah, good value for money.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nick. Next up, we have Laundry Lab.
Doing laundry. One of the most essential chores we all do each week, but most laundry detergents aren't environmentally friendly. My name is Ella Reed, and Laundry Lab is on a mission to change that.
Hi, I'm Ruby Prose with the Marin School of Environmental Leadership. And what if I told you there's a detergent that was homemade, chemical-free, and in tablet form for your convenience?
My name is Emily Charlton, and I'm a junior in Marin Cell and marketing manager for a business called Laundry Lab. Do you want to better your own health along with the health of the environment? Well, the switch is simple.
Our laundry detergent is made out of safe ingredients, packaged in reusable jars, making our product not only safe for the people who use it, but also safe for the environment.
You know those commercials that show how some fancy laundry detergent can get out any stain with just one wash? Well, the truth is, most strong laundry detergents can do just that, but they also have harmful chemicals in them that end up in your water runoff.
Unlike leading detergent brands, we are chemical-free. By eliminating the use of chemicals, we have prevented human health issues as well as helped protect marine life.
Our mission is to make environmentally products the default product, starting with objects that we must use every day.
We hope you join our fight for global clean waters.
Tablets Lab has got the clothes on your back.
Great. So a question for Ruby here. How many washes or laundry runs can I do with one package?
Sorry, I was going to answer questions for us instead of Ruby.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So each jar we sell is $8, and there's 10 tablets in a jar. And one tablet is one load of laundry. So you can do about 10 loads of laundry with one jar.
Right. And then the second question is, how is the product packaged?
So we promote like sustainable packaging. So we package our detergent in mason jars. And if you would like, you can bring your own mason jar and we will fill it with tablets for you. And this will get you a discount. Instead of 80 cents a tablet, it'll break down to about 70 cents a tablet.
Okay, wonderful, great. All right, and then next up we have California Native.
My sister just went off to college, so I get her car. But she's a horseback rider, so the entire thing smells like a barn.
I told her to go to the store and get a car freshener, but she said there was too much plastic.
And the smells gave her a headache.
They don't last long and end up in the ocean.
Hi, I'm Sylvie, the founder of California Native. We are an eco-friendly and sustainable business selling car fresheners.
These aren't just any car fresheners. They're made with local wool and infused with local essential oils. Using local ingredients lowers the carbon footprints.
Along with that, our business only uses essential oils that are native to California because we want to stop the spread of invasive species. The point of using essential oils as fragrance is to counteract any poor driving habits with the power of aromatherapy.
Whether you're a nervous teen driver or a parent driving carpool in the morning, we have a fragrance that will make you a safer driver.
Great, and we have a couple of questions. So where do you acquire your essential oils?
Yeah, so at first we were purchasing them from local markets like Whole Foods and Good Earth, but then we partnered with EO and they've been giving us, they've been donating essential oils, so we've been using those.
Another question we have here is, can we return our car freshener for a refill?
Yes, we have refills and they're $3.
Okay, and then what scents do you offer?
We offer a variety. The essential oils from EO, they're kind of more blended, but then the ones that we have from Whole Foods are lavender, lemon, orange, and then ylang ylang.
Okay, great. And then about how long do the scents last?
They last up about until 2 weeks or more. It kind of depends on how much we put in the freshener. We try to do the same amount, but since they're homemade, it just kind of depends.
Well, thank you. And then we have some questions for some of the earlier groups came through. This is for Angela. And how does Buddha Balm work with arthritis? Is Angela there?
Oh yeah, sorry. Can you repeat the question? My computer's like dying.
Yeah, it's how does it work with arthritis? Can you hear me? Well, while Angela's fixing her technical issue, there's a question, Catherine. Where are your fruits?
So we get our fruit from Marin Market, and we have paired with them to get our fruit weekly or bi-weekly. And they set aside a box of fruit that's bruised or that they can't put on the shelf for us to use for our business.
Yeah.
And
So I actually think I answered this one, but basically because arthritis is typically caused by like swollen joints, it's like really helpful for like people to use muscle rubs because the essential oils in it can like, I haven't tried it. Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, like
You're kind of coming in and out, breaking in and out.
Maybe another student in the business can answer.
I don't have.
Hi, I'm Katrina. I think what Angela was trying to say is that the essential oils in Buddha Balm can benefit many causes, including arthritis, because the essential oils are very minty. They can reduce swelling in some cases.
And there's a related question. Well, Mike might have been asking this one, but for you, maybe Katrina, you could answer this, or someone else from Sylvie's group. Like many of the companies here, you've mentioned essential oils. What do you define as an essential oil?
Well, for our group, Buddha Balm, an essential oil is basically an oil that has, a scent to it that can like make you feel a certain way. In some cases, like some make you feel more relaxed, for example.
Sylvia, I don't know if you want to answer that as well.
Yeah, I don't know the exact definition, but I would just consider an essential oil anything that has aromatherapy benefits and is naturally found.
Okay.
And just, I think some of you had trouble getting to the Laundry Labs link. Naomi posted it again in the chat for people. Hopefully that one works.
Okay, and we have another question here for Lupli. Where do you get the fabric that you use?
So far our fabric has been from donations. To make our product, it didn't take a very large amount of fabric, so it wasn't super difficult to source fabric, but we do use 100% recycled materials and fabric to create our product.
Okay, great. I think that's all the questions.
There's another one that just showed up.
Can I wash the lanyard? I'm not quite sure what this...
I assume that's wash. Can I wash the lanyard?
Oh yeah, can I wash the lanyard?
Oh yeah, you definitely can. It's made out of washable fabric and then just a regular metal ring. So as long as, I think if you just washed it with other fabric in the washing machine, it would be okay. It wouldn't like bang around, but it's just a small little ring like this. So I don't think it would damage anything.
Okay, and then we have a question for Emma from B-Wraps. Where does B-Wraps get the fabric from?
Yeah, so B-Wraps gets our fabric usually from donations, and we've been lucky enough during this time to receive a couple donations. We have a next door post if you want to donate any fabric. And yeah, so all of our fabric is recycled.
Great. And another question for Laundry Lab. Do the Laundry Lab tablets have a scent?
Yeah, so we have one scent that we use with our tablets, and it's kind of like a standard citrus scent. So it's kind of like lemony. I don't know how else to describe it, but it smells kind of like Fell's naphtha soap.
And then another question for Emma. Do the bee wraps come in different sizes?
Yes, the bee wraps do come in different sizes. We have 3 sizes. One is 5 by 5, 10 by 10, and 8 by 14. So you have, you can wrap different things, like the longer rectangular one. You can wrap like the end of a cucumber baguette. So yeah, we have many different sizes, and the 5 by 5 one is $4, and then the other 2 are $7.
Great. Now we've got time for one more question. How are, this is for Sylvie, how are California native products packaged?
I don't have it with me, but we have a little cardboard box. It's very similar to how EO packages their products. And it's probably about this big, and we have a little note from us, California Native, and our logo.
One more follow-up question for you. Is it possible to order California Native?
Yes, the best way to order California Native is to go onto our Instagram account and then send us a direct message, and then we'll respond to you.
Okay, do we have time for one more? One more. This is for Nick. What is the key cleansing ingredient in Suds of the Sea?
So most bar soap, or all bar soaps actually, are they're made with a chemical reaction between a base and a lipid or an oil, and so when those react, it creates a cleansing agent that can be used. And then our soap contains live cultures, which just helps to exfoliate and moisturize your skin as well.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
Okay. Thank you, Mike, for leading us through that process. And thanks to all of our amazing student businesses. So impressive. It's just really exciting to see all of you. And please definitely go purchase lots and lots of their products. All of the purchases go to support the business program. And so we definitely want to see you guys purchasing lots of different products. Yes, the products will be posted on the Marin website. We'll also have those pitches up there live, or not live, sorry. We'll have the pitches up on the website as well, and links to where you can purchase their products. So, and as you know, this event is usually a fundraiser, and now because of COVID, it's virtual, so we're able to offer it for free. And so we're so excited by the sheer number of people that have been able to join us because of this this virtual event. It's fun to see that there's people, I think, from all over the country that are participating. I just saw a chat. We are at 198 participants. We're at less than that now, but at our peak, we were at 198. So we had almost 200 people, which is really just fantastic. We're going to post in the chat right now a link to donate to the business event and to the Marin program in general. This event is usually brings us in tens of thousands of dollars, and we're obviously not going to get that this time. And so anything that you can do to help us support this event, I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the event, because right now I want to transition us to our amazing student speakers. And in order for us to do that, I'm going to introduce Ray McClintock, who all of your donations that you do directly will help us support the program in general, and part of that support is enabling us to have Ray McClintock, who is our lead teacher, to be 100% Marin. And Ray, I can't even tell you how amazing Ray has been in this response to COVID-19. I am overwhelmingly impressed by him and all of the other teachers in the program. But Ray in particular has just really stepped up, led the teachers into a lot of different interactive, cross-disciplinary projects together. Just incredibly impressive. So Ray, you have the wonderful role of introducing all of our student speakers. So thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Thank you everyone up to this point. I've always said that, the heart and soul of this program and, what makes it so special is the students, and nights like tonight definitely showcase that with these amazing businesses. And, I'm just so happy and grateful and thankful to be part of this program. I'm also happy to be here tonight. I was, it was iffy at one point if my wife was going to go into labor today, but luckily she's holding off for at least a little bit more. So I'm glad I'm able to be here with you all tonight and see the great stuff that you have done this year. So yes, my role here is to introduce these student speakers, and these students are not only just tremendous advocates for this program and highlights of what a student in Marin Cell should be, but they're just incredible people, and I'm so happy that they're able to share this night with us. So first and foremost, to represent the freshman class, we have Jada, who is just the go-to in our class that I can always count on to lead by example and just be someone that all groups can look to as a leader. And she's always comes in with just such a great attitude, and I just am so happy to have her. So representing the freshman class, we have Jada Swan.
Thank you, Mr. McClintock. Hi, my name is Jada Swan, and I'm a freshman here at Marin Cell. When I first came into the MCell program, I honestly didn't really know what to expect. And I for sure didn't expect this much growth to happen in such a short period of time. I can confidently say that this program has made me a better, more well-rounded student and overall person. I actually haven't even realized this until now. When I was given the opportunity to give this speech, I really had the chance to reflect on this. I think that it is so crazy how much I have actually evolved in such a short period of time. And I think I can speak for my whole class in saying that. All of this would not be possible if it weren't for all the amazing teachers we have and the innovative projects that we get the opportunity to participate on. One of my main projects that we get to work on freshman year are LEAD projects. These are projects that we get to work with our community to focus on a certain element of the environment. Last semester, I got to work with the microbeads group, and this semester I'm working with the garden group. We created a website that educates people on microbeads and what they can do in their own lives to help with this problem. The project taught me so much about creativity and how I can use it to make a real change in our community. Through other projects, I learned so many important skills. In the water debate, I learned how to work with personalities that I wouldn't normally get the opportunity to participate with. With the interdisciplinary project, I learned that I can't take the easy way out of difficult situations, and I had to think of the best possible solution, and I really had to think critically. I also was completely put out of my comfort zone because I had never done a project like it before. It built up my confidence, and now I know that I'm capable of doing projects that I think are challenging. These are just a few reasons for the many ways this program has benefited me personally. As well, I think that our freshman class as a whole has developed a lot together. We all have such different personalities, and when we first joined the program, I think we all honestly can say that we didn't know how it would work out. However, now that we have gone through almost a whole year, I can't imagine being with a different group of people. We have all learned to embrace all our different types of personalities and people. Marin Cell has also made me realize something so important, and I think it will be one of my biggest takeaways from the program. It is not something that just one teacher or project has taught me, but is more something that I've realized from Marin Cell. I have learned how important it is to have your own opinions and thoughts about whatever you are passionate about, and how you can use those opinions to stick up for what you believe in, whether that is the environment, equality, or whatever you want to make a difference in. It is so important for you to give yourself a voice for what you believe is best, and I think Marin Cell has done this for me. This is how you can make a real change in the world, and no matter what, you keep fighting for what you think is best. I'm so proud of myself and my entire class for all the amazing work we have done, and how much we have evolved since the beginning of the school year. I will forever thank Marin Cell for all the amazing opportunities for growth that they have given me, and without them, I would definitely not be the same person, student, or group member that I am today. I cannot wait for what the next 3 years in this program has in store for me and my class. Thank you.
Great job, Jada. While you can't wait for the next 3 years, we can't wait for 3 more years of you and your great class. You guys have been wonderful so far, and I can't wait to see how you guys will continue to grow. For the sophomore class, we have none other than Duncan Stilson. Dunky is one of 4 boys in our sophomore class. So he represents quite well. And, you know, this class in particular is one that is just a class that I can always count on to try new things with, because they're just so willing to push themselves and challenge themselves and do more with. And so I'm just so thankful to be able to have them this year as well, even though it's during zero period and we get to wake up with each other each day. So to represent the sophomore class, we have Duncan Stilson.
Thanks so much. Hi, my name is Duncan Stilson, and I'm in the sophomore class. Our class had several big changes this year that I felt made it different and a challenge from freshman year. First of all, our lead project were for the whole year, not just for one semester. This helped us get a lot more done with our projects because we had a lot longer of the school year to get as much done as we could. We also had a much stronger policy based on our projects. One of the main goals for each project was to develop a policy that had not been instituted yet and try to get it accepted and then put into place in the future. Another big change was the different classes that we could take and the increased difficulty of these classes. I know many of my peers that took accelerated or honors classes for the extra challenge, and trust me, it hit us hard. These were hard for us at first because we were not expecting the classes to become so difficult so fast. But eventually, with numerous very emotional circles, we were able to deal with all the new work and stress. The last major change from last year is that I feel like our whole MSL class has become a lot closer. I remember when I first came into MSL, I was so nervous because I didn't know anyone, and I was nervous about being with the same people 4 years in a row, especially when I was only 1 out of 4 boys in my class. When school started, everyone started to make friends, but this also made a lot of cliques between people, which made us kind of get off to a rough start. But as our sophomore retreat and year began, we really started to understand each other, and all of these cliques dissolved, and I really feel like we grew as a class to be more open and accepting of everyone else. There was one moment during the retreat when we all sat in a circle and talked around a fire, and that was the first time I really feel that we came together as one MSL sophomore class. But there are also other ways that we grew. We became more hardworking and passionate in our lead groups. We faced harder and harder challenges that I never thought we'd be able to face at all. But when we did, it amazed me that we solved each one. For instance, my lead group had to enter into an energy conservation competition with the majority of schools in California. My group and I looked at campaigns of all the other schools, and a lot were very good and very well put together. And I thought that TL did not even stand a chance. But we worked really hard and ended up getting 5th in all the schools in California. Every one of the lead groups was able to make a policy suggestion and make real change, which I find amazing, even though sometimes we had 2 projects going at once. I feel like the sophomore class grew in so many ways and were able to accomplish a ton. And every single student and parent in MSL should be proud of them. Thank you.
Great job, Duncan. Yes, you know, this class, I think sophomore year is a tremendous jump from freshman year, and this group just continues to exceed all expectations, and they handle these projects with stride, and they do really bring about real change through their policy aspect of their lead projects. So again, I'm so proud of them and how they've grown, you know, over these 2 years. Next up, representing the junior class, we have Sylvie Anderson. These juniors, you know, junior year is the one grade level that I don't currently teach in Marin South. So it's hard for me to, you know, have classes come through from freshman and sophomore year and then pass them on to the capable hands of, you know, Mr. Robbins and Alcinora Paulo and Mike Cairns and whatnot. But seeing how these students grow in a year without me and just see them mature into upperclassmen is just so awesome to see. And Sylvie represents that well. So Sylvie Anderson representing the junior class.
Thank you, Mr. McClintock. Hi, everyone. I'm Sylvie, a junior in the Rentsel program. With the COVID-19 outbreak and schools turning into online classes, I've had more than enough time to reflect on the junior year that I had. Monday through Thursday, my class and I arrived on campus at 6:55 a.m. for our zero period sustainable business class. We are so fortunate to have an amazing college professor, Mike Cairns, also wake up that early and teach us everything we need to know about building a business. Our curriculum consisted of creating individual business plans for a semester, then having business leaders from around the community come in and hear our business proposals. After that, the panel chose 9 businesses to be put into action for the second semester. I was honored that my business, California Native Car Fresheners, was chosen. As the founder and CEO, I hired 3 of my peers to fill specific positions for the business. At the beginning, I thought I was ready for the position of CEO because I'm outspoken and confident. But now I know that a CEO needs so many more qualities than those. I was put in uncomfortable situations when my teammates looked to me for solutions, when I'm usually the person in the group expecting someone else to carry the burden of making the final call. Although this semester is coming to an end, and I still don't have a total grasp of the CEO thing, trust me, you can ask my teammates, I would not have wanted any other experience because I've grown so much from this. Another junior mental class we have is engineering. Our teacher, Allison Orapollo, better known as Miss O, is one of the most influential teachers I've had. In that class, we learn about tools, make spoons, create layouts, and finish the year building chicken coops that later get sold throughout the community. Although now I can use a saw and drill successfully, kind of, the most impactful thing I take away from that is my newfound capability. As a young woman in society, things are easily done for you. Doors are opened, anything over 10 pounds is carried, and you're not expected to do any manual labor. But in Miss O's workshop, that's not the case. Boys and girls in that class are given the same amount of instruction, help, and expectations. I've shown myself how capable I am on my own, and that is something I will always carry with me. My favorite personal growth story is that in the first week of class, I thought it was a good idea to wear a crop top to class and then volunteer to use the grinder first. Let me just say that Sparks and Barry Midriff is not an ideal duo, and it scared me quite a bit. But by the end of our time together, I was the designated person to use the grinder on our chicken coop because I was the most confident one using that tool. The third and final Marinsel class for juniors is our AP US History class, taught by the wonderful Alex Robbins. This is a class based on discussions and building arguments. Because of Marinsel, my class and I have been doing Socratic seminars, debates, and discussions religiously. So when it was time to debate history and dig deeper into the content, we were well prepared. We were not afraid to voice our opinions or challenge each other's arguments. Because of our practice with discussions, I believe that we got the deepest understanding of the content that we could, and that will definitely benefit us when we take the AP exam in just a couple of weeks. Every day, I looked forward to hearing Lucy's 10-minute rants, Ezra's immense background knowledge, Nalini's mind-opening perspectives, and Ashlyn's facial reactions to Liz's somewhat confused responses. My Marinsel class's relationship is unique if you ask any teacher that has taught us, but junior year really brought us together. We've come a long way from a group of 15-year-olds that had numerous lectures about clicks, and from a group of 16-year-olds that would prank each other over group chats, all the way to a group of 17-year-olds that united and scared the retreat chaperones away so that we could all hang out together. I could list all of our memories, but that would take ages, and I'll save that for senior year because I know we're about to make 100 more. The 2021 class bond has gotten stronger every year, and I wouldn't have wanted any other friends by my side during the most challenging year of high school. I'm more than thankful for the Marinsel program for bringing us together, and I can't wait to see the things we'll do as seniors. Thank you.
Great job, Sylvie. I seem to remember some of those lectures about clicks, and oh, how you guys have grown. You guys are a fantastic class, and just seeing your guys' businesses tonight is just awesome, and I can't wait to get you guys back next year for senior year. Speaking of seniors, I can't wait to introduce these next 2 students, first of which, Molly Madden, who I've said for about 4 years now that she will most definitely be the first female president of the United States, and if so, I hope she remembers me. This senior class is special to me on numerous levels. As I've said at almost every speech I've ever given, you know, they're my first class, not only as a teacher, but a Marinsel teacher, and they have grown as I have, and I've just been so privileged to go through this beginnings of my career with them, and they have taught me more than I'm sure I've taught them, so I'm just so incredibly thankful. And so I want to introduce Molly Madden, who, you know, just, I don't know how there's enough time in the day for all that she does. She's, you know, represents our school on the board committee. She's, you know, plays water polo. She does all kinds of things, and as Susan mentioned, she intern at EO, so she's quite literally a Marinsel rock star. So Molly Madden representing the senior class.
Oh, Mr. McClintock, you're too kind. Before I get started, I just want to thank Miss Susan Black. I think your junior year, you really talk about the triple bottom line when you're doing your business, and I think EO really exemplifies what it means to have a business that knows how to rock the triple bottom line. So that being said, thank you, Susan. So like I said, my name is Molly Madden. and I'm a senior in the Marin class of 2020. 3.5 years, 680 days, and 600-something zero periods later, here we are. Although this year may have not turned out as expected, the time that we did have together was something unforgettable. Starting with the retreat, we were all eager to go to Westminster Woods our last time, to get our share of our late night tea, hang out in the net, and finally get our chance to tie-dye. I think that we can all agree that our favorite part this past year was the obstacle course and watching everyone climb the net and propel themselves off into the trees. We even got Miss O to join. We sang our hearts out, and we will forever miss the famous Quindini and John's jokes around the campfire, but the retreat was one to remember and definitely a good sign to show what senior year was going to look like. College apps came rolling in and stress came in at an all-time high. We all bonded over our struggles with the CSU app and what to write in our essays because frankly, there was just too much to write about. We were always greeted on Wednesday morning by Will, our comm teacher. He always had many words of wisdom to share with us, and it made the class go by in absolutely no time. Many of us embarked on internships. I interned at EO Products, working in product development and marketing, making relationships to last into my working career. I learned how to conduct professional meetings, presentations, the ins and outs of a business, and I also learned that teamwork makes the dream work. Marin gave me so much more than I could have ever asked for. If it wasn't for the networking that I had done with EO in my microplastics lead group freshman year, combined with my interest in marketing that sparked while working for Weed Warrior in my junior year business, I would have never had the access to the opportunity I had created and be offered my internship. Throughout my 4 years in the program, I cannot be more thankful for the projects, conversations, community, and skills that I've harnessed. I know that when I'm down at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo next quarter, hopefully, I will have the skills to thrive as an industrial technology and packaging major, a major that I discovered after being inspired by the work at EO, thanks to my supervisor Meredith, a Cal Poly alum herself. Not to mention, these skills were also developed with the hours of work I spent sharing with my 29 classmates, which now I consider my family. I will never be able to thank my teachers enough for all that they taught me. Tal taught me to think, Robbins taught me empathy, Frack taught me optimism, McClintock taught me determination, and Or Apollo taught me to be a badass. This last year was never something that I could have imagined, and I miss our traditions like Donut Thursdays, hilarious memes created by yours truly, Mr. McClintock, and obnoxious singing of happy birthday for every single classmate, like crazy. But I'm so grateful for my experiences, and I'm very optimistic for what the future holds for the Marin class of 2020. Thank you.
Like I said, future first female president of the United States. Great job, Mal, affectionately known within the class. She is just a rock star. And I know she's going to move on to bigger and better things at Cal Poly, and she better come back and visit often. Thankfully, I got a line of Madden clan coming in behind her, so I'm glad I get to stay part of that family. And last, but definitely not least, we have someone who I think couldn't represent the program better. Somebody who has a personality that can instantly bring some life into a room, never a dull moment, and simultaneously is one of the most critical thinking, determined, smart young men that I've ever known. The sky is truly the limit with this individual as he, embarks on his college career. And I think, him representing not only the senior class, but the entire program really represents what it is all about. So representing the entire program, we have Braden Boutman.
Thank you so much, McClintock. Having done presentations and speeches at public events at nearly every opportunity that has been given to me about this program, I can say that I have spoken of Marin over and over and over again. I can't even count how many times I have mentioned the words, the 4 C's. Looking back, I realized that I, like several others, was guilty of regurgitating the same words I had heard so many times before, and those words had lost almost all of their authenticity. This was completely reasonable for anyone in my position, as I can say it is impossible to give an authentic review of the program without experiencing it in its entirety. Having nearly graduated, I've only begun to realize how much Marin has helped me, and I feel I can genuinely speak from the heart about how great this program really was. My first real interaction with Marin Cell began right before my freshman year started. My family and I had just said goodbye to my brother as he left for Pitzer College when I received a notification about a group chat with my new Marin Cell classmates. Being the comedic genius and mastermind I was, I decided to pretend to be Kunal, who I was not. I encouraged several of my friends to do the same, and we all laughed as the rest of the class attempted to decipher who was the real Kunal and who were the fake Kunals. Several hundred texts and a few months later, our class had solved their first design challenge. Today, of course, we all know who the real Kunal is, and if I tried anything like that now, everyone would roll their eyes and know it was me immediately. And although this is in part from my repeated antics, it's more of a product of how tightly knit our class has all become. Over the years, we have continued to grow closer as a community, sometimes to the dismay of our teachers, and I love the unique person that each and every one of my classmates is now. Although I'm sad that we aren't seeing each other in person anymore, I'm glad that we still have found ways to stay connected. I never knew that one collection of strangers in that group chat would all become such great friends, and I'm so excited to discover what will happen to all of us in the upcoming years. But while in this moment, the community seems like the greatest gift Marin Cell has given us, we will soon discover how well the program has prepared us for our lives as adults. The transition from school to work can be challenging for many. School is ordered and structured, but the working world is free-flowing. No counselor should tell us what class we will take. No teacher should tell us what work to turn in. And no curriculum to tell us what we can and cannot do. But Marin Cell has allowed us to easily adapt to the transition. Loose guidelines and high expectations have allowed us to shoot past mediocrity and into excellence. The core curriculum has taught us to be innovative and intellectual thinkers who will do no less than strive in the working world. I've already witnessed how much Marin Cell has helped me with the college application process, and I'm nothing but excited for our futures. Now, I've recently committed to Pitzer College, ending my path in Marin Cell in the same place as I started it. To all of us now, the world is full of uncertainties and new possibilities. It saddens me deeply that the last time we would see each other in a normal setting happened so abruptly, and that so many of the things we look forward to were moved out of reach. And while I miss everyone so much, I'm positive that we will reunite and make up for every plan that fell through when this is all over. Although it is cheesy, while the program only lasted a short 4 years, I'm sure our friendships will last much longer than that. I'm so glad I could spend my Marin Cell experience with all 30 of you, and after careful discussion with all of our teachers, I can safely emphasize how much better our class was than the others, and I'm sure it will be used as an example for years to come. Thank you.
Great job, Braden. I will not confirm or deny you guys as the greatest class of all time, but well done. I think Braden's notions of the community element of this program are what I really love the most about it as well. You know, being a teacher in Terra Linda High School is awesome as is, but being able to have a group of students like these Marin Cellars and see them, through these all 4 years and just how much they grow and how much we as teachers and the community grow together with them is just something that, is just remarkable. And I couldn't be more proud of them, and I couldn't be more happy to be part of this program. So thank you all so much, student speakers. You guys represent us well. I am very proud to be your teacher.
Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you, students. Thank you, all of you. You guys are just, you blow me away every time that I hear you talk. You just are so great. So we've come to the end of our program. I want to say that if we could all consider donating to Marin Cell, as I mentioned, this has been a fundraiser every other year, and usually we ask for donations for participants. I am so happy by the number of participants and being able to share all this great work that our students do with everybody. But if you could donate, that would be fantastic. Your donation dollars go to support our lead teacher, go to support the Marin Cell staff that works with the teachers and with everybody else. It goes to support so many different things. It goes to support Mike Cairns. His time is partially supported through the College of Marin, but we also pay him for extra time in the classroom. So anything that you can do would be just fantastic. And I guess that's it. I don't know, Naomi or Katy, if if there's anything else that I need to cover, but thank you all so much for everything that you do.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a great evening.
Bye, you guys. Have a great evening. Thanks
Bye,
for joining
Stein.
us.
Yeah, students, go ahead and unmute and say goodbye to everybody.
Oh, how fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.